make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
Okay, then listen. Let's not get caught. What are you talking about? Let's keep going. What do you mean? Go. You sure? Yeah. Get it. Hey!
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
All right, the alternator's replaced. But now, I have no money left.
Got people ragging me online right quick. Hey everybody, just decided to do a stream tonight. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I'm just gonna chew the fat. Probably run my mouth off a little bit. See, what's up? Hey, what's up, Creators Outlet? What's up, Will? Hadn't seen you in a while, dude. I'm just gonna play some stuff, you know, just talk out my butt more than usual. LOL! Exclamation point. The story. It all started last Saturday. The day before, I'd kind of had a weird hiccup in my engine, and the battery light had just flashed on for a second. And then it was just, I turned around to go to the garage and get checked, and it disappeared. It went away. So, hold on a second. Car trouble, I take it. Yeah, car trouble. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, all right. Just making sure people can hear me. StreamYards is weird sometimes. Anyway, so last Saturday, I went to local, we call it Redneck Walmart. It's called Rural King, and they got a gun selling, department there, and I was planning on getting my first gun, for house protection. I have a bigger house here, and I live in the city now, so I decided to get one. And so I come back out to the car, hit the start button, nada. Okay. Had somebody come jump me off from the local garage, like right across the parking lot. And almost as soon as he walked away, boom, died again. And then I got him to, put the charger on the battery, and basically ran it off of the battery over to their garage. They did a test, determined that, things were dead. And so I had the vehicle towed, $75 evidently now, to the garage right across the road from me, so I could just walk home. But they said it was the corroded terminal. There was a corroded one of the terminals was corroded. It was the one, the positive terminal, I think. And it said that caused the alternator to overcharge and probably, killed the battery. So they cleaned the terminal, and everything looked like it was charging. Everything looked like it was right. Had the numbers were in the, in the green. Hold on. All right. Anyway, so everything was in the green, and it just what it did never. I ran it, and the car died. And so everybody had already gone home at the garage because it's Saturday. So I managed to borrow a truck to get me to church and to work that night. Took it to the garage, and they replaced the battery. $224. That's how much a battery costs now. $224. Anyway, ran great for 2 days. I was in the I was getting me a breakfast sandwich on the way home, and I had to push it out of the line because the thing died. And so they came, and I walked. It turned out I was on the same street as my house and the garage, so I walked to the garage, let them know about it. They went and got the car and brought it to the garage, and then I got the news it was the alternator. So I had the choice of a rebuilt alternator without a warranty, would be $311. $311. Or I could get the brand new one with the warranty over $500, because my van happens to have the high output alternator. And so with labor, I want shelling out over $700. So less than a week, I had my personal finances got diminished about $1,000. So, yeah. Anyway, how was your week? What? 224 for a battery? Yeah. I looked around. That was actually on the low end. From everything I could find. So it's just expensive right now. Everything's expensive. Everything's expensive. Anyway, okay. It's the most valuable thing in existence. Something can be controlled or bought back. It is metaphorical, metaphysical, and found everywhere at once. Valuable thing can be controlled, bought back. It's both metaphorical, metaphysical, and found everywhere at once. Air. I'm going to say air. So, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to say air. Anyway, didn't know we were going to do Stump the Bunny here. Wouldn't it be great if we made stuff here? Yeah, it would be. It would absolutely be great. Time. Okay. All right. Time. Fair enough. I'm used to when people go for the time one, I'm used to them using Gollum's riddle from The Hobbit. So that's usually the one I see people use. That's a good one. That's a good one, though. Valuable thing in existence, something can be controlled or bought back, both metaphorical and metaphysical, found everywhere at once. I'm going to say air also covers that. So I'm going to declare us both right. Okay, I'm going to declare us both right. Okay, it's my show. I'm gonna call us both right on that. Anyway, but anyway, so I just kind of wanted to cheer myself up a little bit. So if you guys don't mind indulging me, I'm gonna play some stuff. So it's my favorite stabs. Stabs are like little mini things, you know. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like a little mini clip. I got a few I want to play. I haven't played them in a while. Hold on a second. Start quote. It never rains, bug it pours. Bug it pours. Did you mean butt it pours? Okay, I don't know. Not familiar with that. Not familiar with that one. Anyway, so let me play a few of my favorite stabs. So let me see. This is a good one.
Stitch.
That's a favorite. That's a favorite. Okay. This one is my favorite. I really like this one.
I get stupid. I shoot an arrow like Cupid. I use a word that don't mean nothing, like lifted. I sang on Do What You Like, and if you missed it, I'm the one that said just grab them in the biscuits.
Boy, that little guy's getting it, ain't he? Love it, love it, love it. Yes, I don't have an editor. Well, that's all right. Neither do I. My editor disappeared a long time ago. This one, this is an oldie but a goodie. You'll like this one.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
Hi, everybody. Boo! Boo! Kelly Sue DeConnick, everyone. What a lovely lady. Wonder why the comic industry just just was utterly destroyed when people like her took over. No idea. Just no idea. Here's a good one. Oh man. That's always a good one. That's always a fun one. I think everybody remembers that one. I used to play this one all the time when I was the end of show. I kind of dig this one.
This house is clean.
Spoiler alert, the house was not indeed clean. As a matter of fact, all the crazy crap hit the fan after Tangina left, so she sucked at her job. She really did. This is always a good one.
Who?
I use that one a lot. How about this one? Oldie but a good one. Oldie but a good one. This is useful. For various different things. How about this one?
Not a great plan.
That one's very, very useful. That is very useful. Hold on a second. Alrighty. Now, let me see. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like this one. This is a favorite of mine.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Anything from UHF is always going to be fun. Let me see here. Wrath of Khan, Turbo Lift, Kirk and McCoy talking about Kirk's baby mom. I don't remember that one. I have to look that one up. That sounds like fun. Let me see. How about this one? This one's real good. I enjoy this one. Let's see. This is good. This is from the same thing. Check this one out.
And I will not be bullied by that.
That one's very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. I loved using that one. There you go. It's always a crowd pleaser. Here's a good one. I've used that more than once. Here's a good one.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage indeed. Indeed, yep. That's a good one. I use this in my opening.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I'll bet you are.
Yeah, you watch any of my streams, you'll get that one played. I use it in my openings. You know, psychic, telepathic bunny, psychically I'm very well endowed. It kind of goes. It goes well. This is one I've used more than once.
Stop! He's already dead.
when somebody's belaboring a point, that one comes in very useful. That one comes in very useful indeed. Let's see what else I got. I haven't played in a while. I haven't used this one very much, but here.
Can we talk?
Can we talk? Can we talk? Yeah. I haven't used that more than once. I don't know why I used it, but it's not really all that useful. Now, got a few things in here that I haven't played in a while. Let me see. Now, this one, Red Valkyrie. She hadn't been around in a while. But she used to do cosplays she would promote your book, but she'd also do a cosplay. And I gave her a script of actual dialogue from the character that she was cosplaying as, which is my character Switch, who happens to be kind of a vapid SJW senator's daughter. Okay, she's like the very definition of a lipstick liberal, or kind of a wine sniffing socialist, usually people that we detest, but she just happens to be very hilarious because she's so vapid with it. So, I had her do a kind of a short clip for me. This is good.
I'm not supposed to be here. I just shoplift occasionally. And it's parking handicap spots when I'm late for Pilates. And the drug convictions. But I did rehab 4 times, and I meant it. That one sex tape that was leaked. But I'm not a bad person.
That leaked sex tape was available for download on your website.
I mean, life hands you lemons. You either make lemonade or 2.6 mil.
2.6 million? Really?
It was high death.
Not often you get one of your characters kind of like come alive like that. Switch is hilarious. Very hilarious. Now, I got a couple things that are kind of specialized that you probably won't see very often. But I've got a few, when I have somebody that's kind of like a frequent guest onto my show, I try to get them a little bit of a stab. But one of my friends, Wookie, lives in Arizona. And so, here you go. Every time he complains about the heat, I'm like, you live in a desert, dude, Trying to mitigate a sudden problem that's popped up in my messages. But Wookie, he's got his own, he's got his own thing. This is a good clip.
1 hour later.
I've used that more than once. That's very, very handy to have. But I used to give a carrot rating for things, and I had something kind of cool with that. But I had this for Disney. When I was talking about Disney is dead, Disney is kind of aged out. I use this right here. Disney is now disco. You know how that wound up. Now, this is a very popular one. I've used more than once. I actually created this to kind of to be a nice little breakup of a show that I was doing. I haven't played this often enough. I actually played it earlier, but if you hadn't seen it. you go. There you go. It's a little overblown, but I don't think it's that overblown. Here's a gem that was dropped by a I wouldn't call him a friend of the channel. He kind of detests me. But I don't know. He might not detest me, but he's so British that you can't really tell. But I asked him a question, and this is the answer I got.
Who gives a shit?
You're an asshole, Gabby. You're an asshole. That's pretty funny, though. Well, so, you know, there's a few other ones that I use from time to time that are kind of fun. That, so something new that I kind of figured that I got the other day that I want to show. I managed to, I used Grok, and I fed some images I had in of my my main character, Ironsides. And Grok came back with some pretty impressive stuff. Let me see. Here you go. So, let's see. Is this one the same one or is it different? Okay, I remember that one put a joint in his elbow, which wasn't part of the initial. But both of those are pretty incredible. I mean, if that's where we're going with AI, that's what we're capable of. That character exists nowhere else except in my stuff. You know, I've had plenty of images made of him, but I was able to feed that into Grok, actually, and was able to, with a few prompts, get something like that. Now, I actually paid $500 for an animation that this animation here. If I pay $500 for this animation, and then Grok gives me that for free. So this is about 3 years ago I paid this for $500 for this.
Years ago, America passed the 28th Amendment, virtually enslaving anyone with special abilities into government service, or forcing them to live as ordinary citizens. With his team disbanded, America's foremost protector and hero for a century had been betrayed by the very institution he swore to serve. Erased from its history books, his every exploit was covered up. Now, in a place called Little Bighorn, the greatest hero America has forgotten will come out of retirement to take down the very institution he once served, assembling a new team of superpowered individuals wielding abilities never before witnessed. In a country that has banned its heroes, it's time to root for the criminals. Let's start a new revolution.
So that was $500, and the animator, I caught the animator bad mouthing, saying that he was slumming it for $500. You know, clearly talking about my my project, and so he was like, you know, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. You know, I deserve more than that. So that's what he did like 3 years ago. It was $500, and he gave me shit over it. Okay, this is what Grok gave me, like for free. Now you see why, you know, it's getting a little hard to do the numbers, run the numbers as to paying an animator to do stuff for you. Now, one of my friends has a project that he has Jose Garcia working on him with. Now, Jose Garcia happens to be a great animator who worked for Disney in their South American, you know, animation house in Mexico. And he's incredible. So, but he blended some AI use with his animation, and kind of he like did the AI prompts where his animation kind of like, you know, to kind of fill in the blanks with some of his animation, and it's seamless. You can't tell what's animation and what's AI. And he was able to put together this amazing trailer that's just jaw dropping. And he's able to put it together in just a couple months, whereas that before it would have took him a year to animate something that long and that elaborate. And so things are changing very drastically and very quickly. This was a trailer my friend Shadow Punk did, and this took him like months to render in this 3D animation, but this is without use of AI. This is before AI, but this took him months to render, and it's incredible. But this took him months. He would be able to do this in just days with AI now, but this is what took months. Now that's incredible. He's also got a 9-minute movie he took 3 years, you know, animating. In his spare time. He wasn't full time doing it, but that's what he was able. It took him 3 years to do that, and it's incredible. It's jaw dropping. It's amazing, and yet I haven't asked Matthew because Matthew no longer talks to me for whatever reason. He talks to everybody else, but he doesn't really talk to me, even though I've done multiple shows promoting his comic and tell everybody who will listen that it's the best comic I've ever read. For whatever reason, whatever crawled up his butt and died, he no longer like communicates with me. But that 9-minute movie is incredible, and that 3D animation and that opening crawl is just amazing. And I was really hoping that he would like start a like a video, like his own show, because he has a channel called Shadowpunk. But he's been doing 3D animation, been doing 3D printing. He's been doing some incredible stuff. And right now he's producing his second comic book. The first one was amazing book, and the second one I can't wait to get it. And it's just going to be astonishing. He's one of the most brilliant creators I've ever met. And whatever crawled up his butt and died, I hope someday he will let me know what I've done to offend him or upset him. I'd really like to reconcile, because I want to be kind of on ground floor of whatever he's doing. I think he's a genius. You hear that, Matthew? You're a genius. You, Matthew Simonek, aka Shadowpunk, are a freaking genius. I don't know what else I could say to salve whatever wound we have between us, which you won't communicate. But anyway, it is what it is. I'll keep an eye out. I've backed his second book, and I'll back whatever book comes out. I guess I'm just a backer at this point, but that's the way things go online. Friends come, friends go, and you don't often know why. But sometimes I communicate, sometimes I don't. But such is life. Okay. Especially online. But let's see, a few things I can probably some more things I can show. Okay. Now I did a show the other day. And I added a clip a little while ago on my channel of Oliver Anthony. His actual name is Christopher Lunsford, but he goes by Oliver Anthony Music because of his grandfather. But he did a speech, an amazing speech about nobodies that I played my Monday show and also clipped it out for a short from Monday's show. I won't play it, but look it up. Oliver Anthony. It shows right up the speech that he did. But it's basically talking about nobodies. It's talking about people who mainstream or tastemakers consider irrelevant. But but the thing about it is the people who are irrelevant now don't stay irrelevant. And so most of the people that you see now that are household names, once upon a time were nobodies, were irrelevant. But the old model was there was somebody that would reach out and most of the time for nefarious reasons would pluck them out of obscurity and give them a platform. And if they took the moment, if they took the opportunity, then they would become household names. That's the old model. Now the new model is if you put your stuff out there and you're talented enough and the right people see it, then that's what makes you famous. The work that you're doing, the art that you're putting out, or the entertainment you're providing. Now, so the old model means that somebody like Taylor Swift gets basically given a golden deal before she's 16. I think she was 16 when she got it, mainly because her dad worked in Nashville. And so suddenly she's everywhere. She's getting pushed on every platform, and now she's considered the biggest artist in the world. And I can name you 6 people off the top of my head that are way more talented than her. As a matter of fact, Wings of Pegasus did a breakdown of her live act and discovered she is using backing vocals and autotune. So, but take it however you want to take it. But she's using a very expensive autotune that's doing it real time. So the kind of money you'd have to, she has that kind of money. But the autotune she's using is basically real-time autotune. It's taking the signal from her mic, rushing it through instantaneously, and adjusting the pitch. And so what you're hearing, even when she does a acoustic vocal, the auto tune's still working. And so she's completely fabricated. She's a complete astroturf, and they've made her a billionaire. Because she's the current thing being pushed, and she says the right things. She pushes the right politics, and so she keeps maintaining her position. Day comes that says, okay, well, we have this political candidate we need you to shill for. If you do that, you can continue to keep the #1 album. Where did I sign? That's the way things work. But increasingly, outside of the mainstream, real talent is beginning to surface. Actual talent, and people who are not being pushed and do not have the astroturf, do not have the push from the powers that be. And behooves you to check some of these people out. Now, I played some the other day. Check out my Monday show. You'll find a lot of stuff on there. I'm not going to play it here, but I could. I could very well play it because they're independent artists, and YouTube does not strike you if you use independent artists. Because the people behind the artists, the people who hold their strings, are the ones that are copyright striking everything. As a matter of fact, they have these companies that scour the net for their property and do a copyright strike. And most of the time, the main artist doesn't even know this is happening, because if they did, then they would know that it was killing their career. Because a lot of this independent stuff is really taken off because people are not being copyright struck. And so all the reactors will react to their stuff. And so that's the secret. Reactors are reacting to their stuff without copyright strike, without fear of some nebulous, demonetization of their stream. And because of that, a lot of these a lot of these independent creators like Tom McDonald, Ren, Oliver Anthony Music, they're raking in the money right now. They're making probably more money than mainstream is. And so the independent model is actually more efficient. It's actually more cost effective. It takes less money to produce content, and because of the AI and because of the accessibility of greater technology for cheaper rates and cheaper prices, some people are putting out some jaw-dropping things. The top two movies in theaters right now, Backrooms, Obsession, are both independent creators who came from YouTube. And they have a budget of less than $100 million. Probably have a budget of less than $50 million. And they're making it back first weekend. And they beat Mando and Grogu last weekend. And looks like they're going to maintain their lead. They're at least going to be in the top 5 this upcoming weekend. And so, when you see where we're progressing, and you see that 3 years ago I had to shell out $500, and that was cheap, as the animator groused about it, for that animation, that basic animation of this the move up and the turn of the head. And while it was cool, it was very basic. but that took $500, and I was insured by the animator, the asshole animator, that I was taking money. I was out of his children's mouths by him giving me that lower rate. You know, I was informed of that. Anyway, actually, there was a guy named Whiskey who was constantly jumping in people's he was constantly pushing his stuff, and then when people would just ask what his price list was, he would take that as, oh, okay, so you're agreeing to buy something from me, and they're just asking for prices. And everything was overpriced, and he was like doing 3D animation, things like that. And that dude, AI's coming in, man. But he was so obnoxious about it. And so people were like, okay, I can work with this obnoxious creator over here who's pricing everything in the stratosphere because he wants to use mainstream pricing for independent spaces, and he's accusing everybody of nickel and diming him. Or I can get an AI, tell him what I want, and the AI spits out a 3D animation or a 3D print file for a 3D printer. And for a nominal fee. So, there are certain things that are just going to be killed by this AI. But the creators, so the independent creators, are going to be able to do stuff like this. That guy completely came out of my brain. He doesn't exist anywhere else but my stuff. And I was able to get an animation of him that looks like it. That looks almost real. And plus, Grok did something that no artist has done yet. Grok figured out that the bone is a different density in his arm than the surrounding tissue. So when he got transformed into crystal, the bone within stayed intact, and so it's like trapped in amber. Okay, and so when he uses his power, the bone within lights up yellow, and the surrounding crystal is blue, and so it becomes green. But it starts with the arm, and so the arm still. And Grok figured it out. I've been trying to explain this to animators and artists for a long time, and I never could get like the concept of them explained insufficiently, and so Grok figures it out. So there you go. But the thing about it is, this is getting easier, and going back to my. The pain, the reason why this decided to do this stream. We need cheaper. We all need cheaper. Okay. I mean, we just do. I'm coming into Close of a comic book project that has been I've just been struggling to get it done. The finances haven't been there, and artist and I have artist and colorist couple who do an absolute great job, but they have kids to feed, and the prices have gone up. As the kids have been produced. I kid sometimes that they're producing more kids than they are comics. But anyway, that's a joke. But I love their work, but it's been a struggle to get it all landed and all put in the can and put out to people. It's taken me 3 years, and I've had to keep pushing the delivery date back and back and back. And I've gotten comics that I backed 4-5 years ago, recently. And to get the books out quicker, you want to support artists, you want to support your fellow creators, you want them to have a living wage, but at the same time, you got to find a cheaper way to skin the cat. You've got to find a different way of getting your job, the things done that you need to get done. And because every once in a while your battery's going to die and your alternator's going to die. And you're going to wind up shelling out more money than you won't even think about. And the way the world's getting more expensive, the barrier for entry is getting higher and higher and higher. And so AI is getting more and more attractive. And not saying it will ever take the place of true animation or true artists and artistry. That's still going to be a thing. Because you can always tell when something's organic, something is not being created in an algorithm. But at the same time, $500 free with Grok. It's becoming a more and more difficult to keep the to kind of like keep it real, or to keep from using the resources that are becoming increasingly available. And I want to be loyal to my favorite artists, or my fellow artists, and I want to keep people employed. I want to keep people, food on the table. But sometimes, I think we're just gonna have to. The time is coming where we're gonna have to balance expediency with what we can do financially, and that's something I'm struggling with right now. I mean, it's easier to replace a guy who's going to give you that for $500 and then grap about you to everybody behind your back, and you can do something more jaw-dropping and amazing in Grok or another AI. So it's like I don't think some of these guys are doing themselves any favors. And they certainly aren't doing me any favors. So, I mean, there's people out there that can pay these people what they're demanding. But, there's people like me that are one alternator away from being in the poorhouse for, a couple weeks or months, We got to do what we got to do, Either don't create or you find a different way. So that's pretty much what we're facing right now. I love my artist friends, I've like Greg Bo Watson did my main cover, my first big image of Ironsides, and it's still one of my favorites. But then I think I got it here. Hold on. Okay. All right. So this was done by Greg Bo Watson. And still one of my favorite things that I've ever gotten. It's the very first thing I ever got. Let's try that. Nah, it's okay. All right. I had Grok show me what that would look like. That poster would look like in real life, and that's what I got. I asked Grok what would Ironsides look like as a real human, and it took, it did give me the arms, but it did that. So handsome individual. But then I asked it to extrapolate it to the model, that 3D model that I gave it. And so it took that guy and put him in this model. Then I asked it to make the uniform metal. It did that. Also make the blue darker. Then I asked for it to light up the interior arm or the bone with yellow, and extrapolate that to with the surrounding glass, what that would look like, and asked to do the same with the eye, and that's what it did. And then I had him animate it. Just messing around. That's what's capable. That's possible. It's what's possible. So, are we not supposed to use these tools? Is there something wrong with me using these tools? I see people using AI to like animate photos or animate pieces of art for campaigns and stuff like that. Pushing campaigns. And I see people in the comments are like, basically calling him a traitor. How dare you use AI? It's like, okay, well, how much money would an artist take to do the same thing? Probably more than $500. So at the same time, I think we're reaching an impasse here. I think we're coming to a crossroads. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go and crawl up in a ball and weep about my finances for the foreseeable future. And I want to thank you all for everybody that showed up and kept me company. And I'll see you next time. Follow the white rabbit. Bye, everybody.